County is being sued by 6 former juvenile inmates who all claim they were sexually abused by guards.
It's a national issue, too, with estimates that nearly 6% of all incarcerated teenagers are victims of sexual abuse. CBS 8's Rocio de la Fe talked to a couple of the young men suing San Diego who say they were barely teenagers when their lives changed forever.
Well, I feel like my innocence was robbed.
They treat us like we all gotta be liars because we're there.
What happened inside the walls of juvenile detention centers in San Diego County has haunted victims of sexual assault for years.
I have a problem trusting people, trusting authority.
Those guys think they're gods. They think they're so untouchable they can do whatever.
One victim, who chose not to be identified, says he was a teenager when he was sent to the Kearny Mesa Juvenile Hall in San Diego. He spent several months at the facility.
You're supposed to be rehabilitated, helped to become better, learn how to behave and treat others.
Instead, he says he went through hell and was sexually abused on several occasions by a guard.
I felt like I was picked out of a group, like I was targeted. He knew what he was doing.
At only 13 years old, he says he felt powerless.
I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't tell anybody about it. And even if I did, I was told it wouldn't matter. And then I felt embarrassed, like it was my fault, that I deserved it.
I think that it was happening to other kids, but we were all scared to not go home.
Another man who's also coming forward says he was 14 when a guard sexually abused him at the Rancho del Campo Center.
You don't go against what they say because you just want to go home.
They are 2 of 6 former juvenile inmates in San Diego County who filed lawsuits against the county claiming that guards sexually assaulted them as minors.
And people that were supposed to be there that I was always told to run to if I needed help, call if you needed help. Those same people were the ones that I was running away, that I wanted to run away from.
I was awful after that. I was angry all the time. I was super defensive. I didn't like people touching me.
Attorney Doug Roshan represents the 6 victims. He says he believes there are more victims out there.
Unfortunately, the juvenile justice system has been a natural safe haven for sexual predators with very little oversight into their backgrounds or their training, and a natural picking ground for kids that arguably are not supposed to be believed.
Roshan says his firm alone represents over 500 kids that were sexually violated and taken advantage of while they were in the juvenile justice system in Los Angeles County.
And as a result of that, it has started to trickle out to other counties, including the County of San Diego, County of San Bernardino, and it's developing into be almost like its own pandemic. We're only scratching the surface.
He says the problem is happening out of state, too. The most recent numbers from a 2018 report from the Federal Bureau of Justice Statistics show that 5.8% of incarcerated youth reported an incident involving facility staff, many of which took place through force or other forms of coercion.
This is a global problem that needs to be addressed at the highest level. This is something that state officials should be involved in, and if necessary, federal officials should be involved in.
I reached out to the county on multiple occasions about the allegations but never got a response. It's unclear if any of the guards listed in the complaints filed ever faced any consequences, but victims say they believe the guards were allowed to target children in their custody and that other adults in the facilities turned a blind eye.
They know what they did. They know that keeping it private or swept under the rug or not telling their superior, whoever they can tell, that they're just as guilty as if they did it themselves.
I don't know how somebody could do that. I don't know how you could do that to a kid.
They and other victims are now hoping to use their voices to fix a broken system.
I think it's a place that creates monsters. From the food to the way they treat you, the way they just degrade and humiliate you, even beyond the sexual stuff.
Our client's ask, is for these counties to do the right thing and fix what's broken. And if it means firing every single person and criminally prosecuting those that did wrong to these kids, that's a start.
Rocio de la Fe, CBS 8.